What's poppin', guys? Back again with another video. It's your boy, Multiple Voice Guy. Now, the time has finally come. I am gonna stop and rank all of the Friday the 13th movies from the worst to the best. Now, I'm gonna end up doing the same thing I did in my Halloween video, but since I only have 3 films I hate in the franchise, in this video, I'm gonna go over the films I hate and films I find okay. The films I hate and the films I think are just okay. Mostly because I really don't feel like splitting this into 3 different parts of films I hate, films I find okay, and films I really like. So, I'm just going to do the same thing I did in my Halloween video, and that is go over all of them until I get to 7, and then just finish the rest in part 1. Well, part 2. Anyway, yeah. Hey Jason, today we're going to talk about your movies. Anyway, let's get it started with last place. Alright, coming up in last place, bottom of the barrel, the absolute worst movie in the franchise would arguably have to be Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. This movie is a piece of shit. Basically, first up, let's get one thing out of the way. The killer isn't Jason. Wow, wow, wow. Instead, the killer is a lame copycat named Roy Burns, who is a paramedic. And apparently he started killing when he saw his little boy get hacked up to death. Which, honestly, dude, why didn't you just kill the guy who murdered your son instead of taking it out on all these other innocent people? Like, this is basically just a Scooby-Doo episode. Like, honestly, they might as well have done this. Okay, time to see who the killer really is. Roy Burns? Like, no. Just know this movie is terrible. Oh yeah, and I'll even try to say good things about all of the movies, even the ones I rank low. I did not dig John Shepard's performance in this. I think John Shepard as Tommy Jarvis was complete shit. And the design for Jason was not good at all. First up, he does not wear a jumpsuit, and he has a hockey mask instead of his signature red chevrons and that forehead red chevron. He instead has no forehead chevron and 2 blue chevrons. Like, really, the only thing the dude got right was the bullhead and the machete. But yeah, I hate this film. And honestly, if you're gonna have a copycat, at least have the copycat be Tommy Jarvis. Like, we would have all bought it, you know, because there is one scene where he hides a switchblade under his mattress. And judging from the way he looked into the camera at the end of part 4, we kind of thought he was going to be the killer for the rest of the franchise. But, no. Basically, this film just did not do it for me. I hate this film. This film is absolute dog shit. Anyway, let's move on. Alright, coming up in number 11 is Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, this film is an absolute lie. Mostly because due to budgeting issues, they really couldn't film much in New York, which, honestly, like, the only part in this movie that's filmed in New York is that iconic scene of Jason standing in Times Square. But other than that, this film is the most boring out of the franchise. Like, it mostly takes place on a yacht. So, honestly, this film just should have been called Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes a Boat to Vancouver due to budgeting issues. Like, yeah, and also the final girl is getting, like, ghost hallucinations of young boy Jason. Like, honestly, what the f***? And the ending was just confusing, where apparently toxic waste could turn you into a little boy. I don't know. This film made no sense. Good things about this movie. Well, the design for Jason's pretty good, and I absolutely love that boxer kill where he just punches the dude's head clean off. And I do love that song in the opening credits. The darkest side of the night burns like a fire. But other than that, this film is a piece of shit, and I hate it. Yeah. Alright, next up, coming up in number 10, we have Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, which, FYI, this really isn't The Final Friday. Yeah, Friday the 13th Part 8 was the last film made by Paramount before they decided to switch the rights to New Line Cinema. So, what does New Line Cinema decide to do in their first Jason movie? They kill Jason off. What the f***? Basically, this film is... first off, I don't even know where to begin. Like, through the course of the film, Jason's soul possesses multiple different bodies, and it all starts when the mortician decides to chow down on Jason's still beating heart, which I honestly think is really gross. Like, that's just sick. Like, dude, if you're that hungry, there's like a Burger King down the street, bruh. This did not feel like a Jason movie. This felt more like a witchcraft movie, I guess you could say, that just happened to have Jason. And then Creighton Duke, by far one of the most coolest characters in the whole series, outside of Jason, of course. He's always saying stuff like, oh, we're gonna kill Jason. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna kill him for real this time. And then when he comes face to face with him, he's dead. And I don't care what people say. Creighton Duke died. Which, honestly, I hate, because I would have loved to see a brawl between him and Jason. But no, we did not get that. We instead we got this when Jason's actually in Jason form. The design for him is pretty good. The kills were absolutely great in this, especially if you watch the unrated version of this. The poster is cool, except we never see that silver hockey mask in the film at all. And I just do not care for this film at all. This film is horrible. But I did like some of the kills, and I did love that teaser that they did for Freddy vs. Jason, where Freddy's claw just comes out of the ground and pulls Jason's mask into hell. I thought that was a pretty cool teaser for Freddy vs. Jason, but other than that, this film is shit. Okay, now those were the only 3 movies in the franchise I hate. Now we're getting into films I just think are okay. Starting off, we have the Friday the 13th remake. Now, I don't give a what people say. This film was pretty good. Do I still prefer the original over it? Yes, I do. But the remake was not bad. It's technically a remake of the first 4 films, but then once you get those out of the way, it's its own movie. I think the main reason why people hate on this is because it was written and directed by Michael Bay, which I'm trying to be like, guys, not everything made by him is going to be bad. Just most of it is. But this was actually really good. Again, the only reason why I find it okay is because I still prefer the original over it. But this film was really good. The kills are great, especially that one scene where he hangs a girl upside down over the fire in her sleeping bag. Oh, that must be a horrible way to go. And I was thinking, man, this new Jason is vicious. Like, more vicious than usual. Like, if I had to give a reward for who was the most vicious Jason, it would arguably go to the remake. But other than that, this film is pretty good. Probably my only complaint about it is the design for Jason. Like, and yes, I know he kidnaps a girl just because she looks like his mom, which we never had that before, so that was interesting. But yeah, my only complaint about it is the design. I'm not saying his design was bad in this movie. I just think compared to past Jason designs, they could have gone with something a little bit better. But no, we instead got this. But it was still pretty good nonetheless. Here, I'll set it on the floor. Okay. All right. Coming up in number 8, we have Friday the 13th, Part 7, Jason vs. Carrie. I mean, the New Blood. This film is okay in my opinion. I only have 2 complaints about it. First up is that most of the kills are watered down. Like, the MPAA just hacked this movie to death. Like, honestly, like, the kills that we got in the film was originally going to be more graphic, but then the MPAA was like, oh, it's too bloody and inappropriate. Dude, it's Friday the 13th. It's supposed to be bloody and inappropriate. But yeah, like, if I had to say which was the least bloodiest film in the Friday the 13th franchise, I would arguably have to say this movie. And the fact that the ending is dumb as... Well, I don't think I should say that. But basically, the ending is dumb as fuck. And I just do not like it at all. Like, seriously, she resurrects her dad to basically chain Jason to the bottom of the lake. Yeah. Good things about this movie? Well, the design for Jason is absolute bad. And it's the star of Kane Hodder Jason, who is most people's favorite Jason. I'm one of them. And Kane Hodder just did a really good job as Jason. And that fact that he would go on to play him in this movie, 8, 9, and 10. but then sadly he couldn't do Freddy versus Jason. But it was still pretty cool though. I know most people don't like Tina because she's basically just a Carrie ripoff, but I did love her story arc to where she accidentally murdered her father in rage with her telekinetic powers, and where she tries to use them to resurrect her dad, but she instead resurrects Jason. I thought that was pretty cool. But like honestly, I feel like if we got I feel like if the MPAA off, and if we got a different story, and if we got like a better ending, this film would get a few ranks higher. But other than that, this film is gonna be at number 8 for now. Alright, and ending up part 1, we have, coming up at number 7, we have Jason X. Now this is the film where Jason goes to space. Now yes, I do like this film, and I can appreciate that they tried something different. You know, and honestly, look at this cover. It is freaking awesome. Yeah, on one side we have the original Jason, the other side we have Uber Jason. Yeah, where he's rebuilt with nanotechnology. Yeah, I know, the name sounds dumb, but the design is cool as f***. And sadly, this is the last Friday the 13th movie where Jason was played by Kane Hodder. The kills were good, but the characters are pretty stupid in this. Like this saying, guys, it's okay, he just wanted his machete back. Yeah, dude, why do you think he wanted his machete back? But, I love this film, and, that's it. Okay, guys, I'll see you. Okay, guys, that's gonna end off part 1. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Help me reach 50 subscribers, and I'll see you in the next one.